Thank you so much, Natala. Hi, everyone. And I'm basically going to speak about what Dr. Nadia has just said, having to put women in everything that you do. And I've been here listening to all the jargons and all the things that you do, which are really good and are helping us to achieve an AIDS-free generation. So I'm going to recite some of the stories of my fellow sisters in Africa on EID. So I have Babalo. Babalo is from Lesotho, is a 23-year-old woman. She found out that she was living with HIV when she was in high school and was very devastated. She was able to join the peer support group in one of the hospitals in Lesotho, where she met other young people living with HIV who accepted themselves and shared their status with other young people, encouraging them to live healthy lives. So she says at the club, we learned about acceptance, adherence to treatment, and the importance of disclosure of our HIV status to our loved ones. We also learn about hygiene and nutrition, which are other things that we need to achieve viral suppression. So Babalo became pregnant in 2020. The first stages of pregnancy was not easy for her. She says, one of my worst fears was to pass the virus to my unborn baby during pregnancy. I was suffering from morning sicknesses and I was vomiting. Later, my viral load increased, and it was discovered that during vomiting, the ARV treatment has been like expelled, as in it came out. But it improved, and her viral load was stabilized as well. Her viral load, when tested after 3 months, she was suppressed. So she says, I was happy because I know that undetectable is untransmissible. The baby was tested at 6 weeks and he was found free from HIV. The baby tested again at 18 months and was free from HIV. My happiest moment is to see my child, my son, is free from HIV. Elimination of mother-to-child transmission is a reality. It starts with the mother with the help of healthcare workers. So it's the same thing that one of the doctors talked about, having mentor mothers at the health facilities, because we are able to share our stories with other young pregnant women and say, I'm HIV positive as well. It's okay if you're HIV positive and you still have a HIV negative family. So she's on multi-month dispensary. So this is Amaka from Nigeria. Amaka's story is not different from any of us stories. Amaka is a young woman living in Orika, River State in Nigeria. She got pregnant in 2021 with her first child and was tested for HIV during the community outreach. Her test results came back positive and she learned she is HIV positive. She was referred to a local hospital in Nigeria where she was initiated on ART and linked to ANC. She says, I was healthy, so I didn't believe the result and I was not taking my medication. I attended the traditional birth attendance because it was close to where I live and my neighbors told me about the place and recommended it. I gave birth there. Amaka did not bring her baby to the health facility for antiretroviral prophylaxis, as she had been cancelled. The health facility team followed her up and connected her back to the facility. She says, after cancelling me, my baby tested for HIV in November 2022, and it was reactive, meaning the baby was positive. So DSB sample was collected for confirmation and diagnosis. I received a call to bring him to the facility, and the facility had cancelled me. I was cancelled and informed that he's HIV positive. Her baby was immediately linked to care and initiated on ART. So she says, my baby was always sick and we kept on treating him for malaria because I never believed he would be HIV positive. But now he's strong, feeding well, and no longer feeling sick as before. I encourage all pregnant women to please go to the health facility, register for antenatal care so that they can be tested and have their babies taken care of. I'm grateful for my baby's life was saved, and he's placed on ART. So this is all the work that you guys do, tirelessly, all the time. So this is the last story from Kenya. So she says, I started my ANC early where I was cancelled on good adherence and medication. I also do maintain my clinic visit without defaulting. I'm a single lady and I was advised to practice safe sex to avoid reinfection and stay healthy. I was also advised to deliver at the hospital. My baby was given drugs to help prevent HIV infection and he uses them. My child is currently 7 months old. He was done the first test at 6 weeks post-delivery, and he turned out HIV negative. The second test was done at 6 months, and I'm still waiting for the results. I'm happy my child was HIV negative. It's in the first test because living with HIV has many challenges, and I don't wish my child to go through the stigma, constant sicknesses, and being rejected by the relatives. So basically, the challenges that we come across are different from different countries. I've seen that. I thought African countries are way behind, but after all other presentations that were done, I'm currently encouraged and pleased that we are getting somewhere. But the challenges that we have is that we wait for results so long at the facilities. Some facilities don't have point of care and other things that facilitate the results to come back earlier. And also, we still have barriers of stigma and discrimination. And also, we still have barriers of health facility workers who are judgmental, who have bad attitudes, and it's really not nice to go there. And also, we still have challenges of people wanting to go to traditional places to give birth, or to go to traditional healers to tell them what to do, when to do, which does not concern their health at all. So I'm standing here before you as a woman living with HIV, as someone who is young, as someone who is a traditional healer as well, as someone who is willing to stand in front of you guys to say, I am HIV positive and I never thought I would have a family who is HIV negative. My baby is HIV negative, my husband is HIV negative, and it's all of your good work that you have been doing. I was tested positive in 2016, and I experienced stigma and discrimination from the health facility at the adult corner that we transition from the adolescent corners or from the pediatrics corners to adult corner. And it was really horrible. I went into a very big depression because I thought I'll get the support at the facility than at home. So when you get it at the facility, it becomes way difficult. But then I was transferred to the adolescent corner in one of the facilities in Lesotho, which is supported by ECPAF and PEPFAR. So that's where I joined the peer support group. I joined other young people who are living with HIV. And to date, I'm still HIV positive and undetectable, not transmitting the HIV to my baby or anybody. And all we want to do is to say it really works. Take your medication, be undetectable, and everything will be okay. And please, I don't know what you'll do to give all the information to other young people or your communities out there, and de-jargonize it so that they understand it, because that is the only way that would go forward. And listen to them, involve them. Don't just make them ghosts and bring them into your meetings to say, we had a young person, we had a young woman, we had someone at this age, but you never even heard what they wanted to say, or you wanted to hear what they said, but the decisions were made already. Thank you.